What's in here? There it is. Close. Ooh. On the bench is an automatic electric model 880 executive speakerphone. That was what they called this thing. This was their automatic electrics speakerphone offering, and I think it's ugly. I think they're horrible looking. But I found this at a garage sale years ago, and it's been sitting in my basement ever since. So I thought it was time to see if the thing works. Fire it up, clean it up, straighten some dents out. That's looking pretty rough. But let's... Okay, how does this work? I can hear it picking up the line of my phone system, the dial tone. That works. Why doesn't it? Off? Oh. I just want to point this out. What was the value of my last 15 minutes? That's right, you got to squeeze every second of productivity out of that sap behind the desk. Heaven forbid they spent 15 minutes. I don't know. I guess I'm new-fashioned. You see it was sitting on the cord. Oh, that was easy. That part of the housing is in fairly good shape. Put that somewhere safe. What we got in here? That's a fairly sizable circuit board for a piece of telephone equipment. Oh. What the heck? It's weird, this housing looks like it's split, but I don't think it is. I think those rivets, yeah, those rivets go through. This aluminum part here almost looked like it was a clamshell dealie, which would have been kind of cool. Super serviceable, but that's not the case. I need to put this on something. That's better. In my garage, I don't have an overwhelming abundance of soft things, so it looks like this. Just clippulates, and there's the board. 3 GE transistors. Oh, those are the black and yellow from the phone lines been taped off. Oh, and something's... Oh, what is all this? There are a lot of cutoff wires in here. There is... Is there a ringer? That might be... this thing's kind of complicated. So I'm guessing this guy here, this poorly lit, thanks to the angle. Let's focus that. That dude is the speakerphone board. That's silk wound wire, because automatic electric was still using that stuff for some reason. I'm trying to think where I've got one of my switches. Here's a step switch. Ugh. with the exact same style of silk insulated wire, I think. Oh no, this, yeah, there, that's the same. I gotta put this on. See that stuff? It's very fine silk wound around the wire. Probably a pain in the neck to strip. You can see the fuzziness there. I'm not even sure where to begin to troubleshoot this. They're fairly modern looking resistors except for that dude right there. Nothing is labeled. Okay, that's kind of gross looking, but so that's like a boot around the microphone there. Hey, oh, that was easy. Oh, and then this button. If I could remove that, that would make life a lot easier. I found an extra strong crescent wrench. I'm using a crescent wrench here because I can get it right tight down on those things. There we go. Don't have to worry about it slipping off. Where was I? I didn't get much further taking that off. In a volume pot. It does look like network. I still don't see a ringer. I should have tried calling it before I completely destroyed it. That's the same dealie as what's used in the Starlight. So these 3 screws, maybe? Yeah. Look like my next candidates. Worried about how people are spending 15 minutes at a time. What is going on here? It's kind of just gross the way this is. There we go. What have we got? So on the back, nothing too exciting. The dial, which has... That looks like it's got more going on than your average dial. I put them all away again. There's an extra set of contacts on that for sure. Possibly to mute the speaker separate from the handset. This switch is very automatic electric. Let's zoom in on that. It's built, it looks like out of the same contacts that are used on, maybe on their compact relays. I'm gonna guess. It looks like they're all doing their thing. I'm gonna guess they're not the cleanest. A bit of carbon. This one's gonna be, how am I gonna get in there? I need a skinnier strip. This paper tears nicely. This looks like it's a make before break contact set. Okay, well, I'm going to do this and come back. Alright, before I go any further, let's see what we've got for documentation. So the index is in the book 1 of this set, and it said 473, 410, 200 is the 880. 473, 501, 425, 422. Wow, 422 is a monster. Oh, I'm looking at, that's the whole, no, it's a big section. 414. What is this? Telephone sets continued. Oh. 405. 410, 201. Getting close. It's the back of the section. Alright. Telephone set type 880 speakerphone installation and field maintenance. Oh, that's the addendum. Don't care. We'll just assume everything's accurate enough for what I'm doing. There's a picture on that side there. Let's do that so we can see half of 2 pages. In place of a ringer, the speakerphone uses an electronic circuit to generate a tone signal for signaling. That's down here where you can't see me pointing. Right there. The signal circuit board is located in the speaker case. Oh, interesting. That is weird. The signal circuit responds on a non-selective basis to any ringing frequency in the range of 16.6 to 66.6 Hz. The frequency of the electronic ringtone is essentially constant regardless of the ringing frequency. Type 33 ringer, the speakerphone may be ordered less the signal circuit board. In this case, an external ringer can be used. Maybe that's the case. When the speakerphone is ordered without the signal circuit board, a blank circuit board is inserted in the space usually occupied by the circuit board. And the 4 signal leads are taped. I didn't check that. The amplifier circuit board is located in the main unit assembly. The speaker amplifier circuit board is located in the speaker assembly. Transmission network. The automatic level and side tone compensating type 2 for error registers include the network. Connecting block. Power is provided by a self-contained power supply. This power supply operates directly from the 48 volt DC central office battery via the station interior wires. An external power supply may be needed in some cases. Well, you'll have to look at that. For operation, use the speakerphone as or standard telephone. The switch button should remain in the off position to answer a call. Press the on side of the switch. The neon lamp located in the switch will start flashing. Upon hearing the distant party, adjust the speaker volume by rotating the speaker volume control wheel to make a call. So it should have just worked when I flipped the switch. Is there troubleshooting? Adjustments. Speaker volume. Key systems. This may have been used with the key system. When it's used with the 10A1, 10A2, or 16A key telephone, an auxiliary relay is required to provide the proper A and A1 lead control. Oh, no. Oh, I wonder if I have buttons mentioned on here. No. When the handset is removed, or the on switch is pressed, the relay, that's key system again. Field maintenance. I need to make more room. Main user dot replacement. Oh boy, schematics coming up. Handset cord replacement, don't care. Circuit description, RF modulation. Contains 2 separate telephone circuits, basic and electronic. Each circuit contains components peculiar to the mode of operation. So, that's weird. Basic. The dial, pulsing circuit, and ringer are identical for both standard telephone and the loudspeaker operation. So they just put 2 phones in here, and that multi-contact switch switches between a regular phone and, that's a bit ridiculous, and the electronic phone. So that's why the regular phone works. Oh, so I'm here. Power is normally powered through the telephone line diodes D10 through D13, so that's a bridge rectifier, I'm guessing. Sure, properly the supply voltage of the transistors regardless of this. And then Zener diode D24 closely regulates the supply voltage, so no significant change in voltage occurs on it. So I'll need to check the output of D24, I think. I should make a note of this. What have I got to write with? Any crayons? So there's that bridge rectifier. With, how did they represent this? Kind of perpendicular to reality. Where's the phone line? So is that the phone coming in? No. They wrote mic. I need to verify my Zoom. So, signal circuit board, speaker, amplifier circuit board. Uses diode switching. So, I was reading elsewhere that it's got a hybrid to separate the transmit and receive lines, a hybrid transformer. And then it, if there's any sound at the microphone, it gives the microphone amplifier preference over the speaker, and then when you stop talking, the speaker amplifier is given preference. So there's a 20 dB pad basically that's switched between the microphone and speaker. So it's kind of a bit half duplexy. So I'm curious what it'll sound like. It's a resistive hybrid. So looking at the schematic, it's a DC circuit from the phone line to connect screw terminals 2 and 3 on this board. I don't know if those are 2 and 3, given that the writing goes this way. I'm going to assume they are. 2 and 3. Of course, it's not turned on. That's not touching. It looks like it is, but it's not. I was hopeful that that was my problem. Stupid. I need like a low voltage set of test probes that don't have these safety things on them, because these are just a pain in the ass for holding things one-handed. The volts. Was I on? That's off hook. And I should be seeing something there. And I am seeing millivolts. I'm noticing this is a trivial thing, but this terminal board here doesn't look anything like the one on the phone. I take it back. Terminal strip. That's the terminal strip I'm looking at over yonder. I'm not sure what this trapezoidal triangular thing is here. Is that part of the network board? Oop. Did that just... Why did that just go off hook? That's interesting. I'm still not sure what was butchered out of here. This may have been down converted from a touch tone to rotary. There are a lot of cut off wires. Barely any difference. I don't get it. How is a relay tripping? And it's essentially drawing no current? So what I'm cobbling together here is two phone jacks. I'm just going to stick a piece of wire between two of the wires. I just want to make I'm building a current. I want to measure current. That's all I want to do. Alright, here's what I've bodged together. Two of those, got my meter in the middle, set to milliamps. I just need a phone wire. Input, output. One, and, oh, I'm a moron. Everything's falling. I'm a moron. Common. Okay. See, I don't get this thing. You think in the milliamp range, it would go up to 900 milliamps. But I guess that's because this needs to be over here. Am I milliamps? And then it does that. Like, I don't get it. No, that's what I'm supposed to be on. Oh, because it's AC again. Son of a noodle. Does that mean 0.25 milliamps? So 25 microamps? No, it doesn't. Was I not recording? Thanks, Canon. Movie stopped recording automatically. Well, tell me. Don't just blink it on the screen. Beep or something. Why do I suddenly have dial tone? Oh, I see. I can abandon the switch. Which way's on? Off. On. So that should be coming through this thing. Where's my dial? Volume. No, it's like this thing's just not getting any power. Here's a fun observation. When I'm in speakerphone mode and dial, as soon as the dial mutes the line, picks up, and then a dial, and then hangs up again. It's like it just can't. Okay, so after fiddling with the dial for a bit, I'm starting to think this is just a dirty contact problem again, which is my initial suspicion. Which way does this thing flip? Everything's hooked onto each other. Oh, there. That comes off of there like that. Because the other thing, I've got it unplugged right now. But it's these contacts that are up to something. And I noticed that it got stuck, if you know what I mean. Oh. What's happening there? Dirty contacts. Look at that. So, this is not a convenient thing to work on. I zap in the induction. I'm barely touching that, so I gotta clean those a bit better. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm a moron. It's because these get marginal. This switch is pretty floppy. And they're so close to... when the switch is down here, it doesn't take much. Because the switch is lacking hysteresis. There's just a lot of flex in that mechanism. I think if I tighten those screws up, right there, right there, that's better, a bit better. Alright, I was looking at the wrong schematic, because this terminal strip is the one I have, not this one. So, yeah. Back to tracing wires. That mystery shape here, that thing, it turns out that's this, which is a connecting block, which is gone from this phone. It's been cut off, but somebody actually opened the phone to cut the wires, which is bizarre. And a whole bunch of connections inside the phone are made through that block. So it means I've got to figure out what was connected to what inside and put jumpers in to get this thing working. Okay, so I'm staring at the schematic a little bit more and I realize, wait a minute, this phone has a line cord, which I've noticed now is tied on with a piece of string. And that line cord is connected, but I think it's connected directly where it used to go. So it's like somebody fixed this thing up to work as a phone, but not the speakerphone. Okay, I think I've got everything jumpered. I'm supposed to have jumpered. Let's see if we can... that's this blue wire, the yellow wire, and the yellow wire. To make up for the missing terminal block. I'm still a bit confused why they would edit out the speakerphone functionality. And it looks like this red button might be like a ground start, maybe? Not sure. For like transferring calls. Let's try it out. And it doesn't work. Okay, it's off hook now. Hey, listen to that. The dial tone. Oh. The neon flashes. Can you see that? It's trying to do something. Boop. Of course it's going to get fast busy. Alright, I need to put another phone on. 41. It's horrible sounding, but it works. That's cool. Hello? 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 Oh, it's there, but it's so quiet. Oh, there we go. Hello? Can you hear me? Just barely. I guess what can you expect from a line-powered speaker? Hello, hello, hello. I need, okay, well, one good test would be dial tone. There we go. And then, what? Oh, 41. I'm 21. No? Oh, I know what's going on.
Enter access code.
Okay, well it works. Quiet as hell. Like if I turn this down, I guess my expectations are a little bit skewed by modern equipment. I need a way to get a recording touch tones. Alright, so I can do a quick functionality test. Let's get this where the light's better. This sag. Functionality test. There we go. We got audio. Dial works. Oh, I'm even hang that up. Oh, I got a wire. Kinda jammed up all under there. There we go. It's my delayed dial tone feature. That's good. Even that's surprisingly. I'm not sure about the neon bulb. It might just be past its prime. Maybe that's just for ringing. Let's try that out. No, it doesn't flash when it rings. Huh, well, I'll have to look at the schematic, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a Kaputnik thing. Because it's not that quiet. What's this button do? Evidently nothing. Oh, maybe it is a mute. No. Don't know. All right. I'm struggling with this. I don't like it. I don't like it. What was the value of my last 15 minutes? Doesn't that just say something? What if you're in sales and you call up your customer? Well, I guess, yeah, that had value. Maybe take a minute to meditate. Everything has value. What's this crap about questioning the value of 15 minutes? This really bugs me. Is that coming off? Kind of. So dried out. That might have been water-based, which might be why I'm not getting it. I need something with water in it. Well, I found some stagnant water in front of my garage and used that, and I am not kidding. What was the value of the 15 minutes I spent removing that? Maybe I'm being unkind. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe what was meant was, maybe I'm interpreting that to have meant what was the financial value of your last 15 minutes. But maybe that's not what they meant. Maybe they meant just what was the value. I don't know. I want to think that. But I don't know if it's true. Doesn't finding it on an executive speakerphone, I guess, is what's throwing me off. If I found it written on, like, I don't know, the old t-shirt that I found at a hippie commune, then maybe a more forgiving interpretation would be appropriate. These are weird. These cracks don't go anywhere near through the case. They're just kind of like crazing on the surface. And I can kind of lighten them by just polishing the crap out of them. So not even that deep. So I've opened up the speaker. Let's see what's inside. It works, so I don't need to fiddle around too much, but I am hoping I can get that out and at least try to get some of the dents out of it. So these boards are held in, they kind of tilt in, and they're retained by these little like beryllium copper clips. Looks like date code of 1972. A couple transistors. What are those? FD 1029 BT. twist the board to get things out. This is a lot easier to work on than that phone was. FD, one of the same transistors. What's going on here? Oh, there's some handwriting on there. There's a vintage looking speaker. Shoot. And it's attached to that front face with these stupid slide-on crimpy monstrosities. Okay. Maybe they're not going to fight me as bad as I thought. Ultimately, this stuff was rented to the customer. Wow, that one popped right off. So there was an expectation that they would get it back. There we go. How's that speaker look? Not bad. Don't think I'll wreck it. How am I going to fix that? So it's like expanded metal mesh. I have an idea. Okay, there's a chunk of scrap MDF here, and I'm gonna just... Well, that definitely helped. Okay, let's make some noise. This is actually making a difference. I don't want to concentrate my whacking too much. Let's try this. Ooh. Alright, I'm doing something dangerous. Make sure my hammer face is clean. And I think if I do that, part of the problem I'm having is I'm working in the middle, so it's stretching, so it's getting convex or concave depending on which side I'm looking at. So I'm trying to do. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better. Oh, now I have to clean this. Okay. And what I've decided is I'm going to put it in backwards because that side's kind of just gross. I've already cleaned it. But if I put it in backwards, it's clean. It's hard to tell on the camera. It's dirty. Alright, I went out and hit this with some more slightly more aggressive solvents. And it's still not really there. I could just sand the thing down. But, so, that looks better regardless. Was there an up or down on this? Not anymore. Come on. That thing's heavy. 100 pounds of cable. I think these would go easier. I did them the hard way. I sure did. If you're doing one of these, clip the top in first. Top goes in first. Oh, I'm a moron. Clip the right end in the top first. Did I mangle these caps a little? That'll do. I should clean that up a bit. I'll do that first. Almost as good as the day it left the factory. Okay, so I'm guessing that goes like that. I think, yeah. There's a hole in the bottom of the housing through which one accesses the trim pot on the inside. Well, it could be worse, eh? Stupid thing into there. Alright, well I don't know where the camera battery died, but I've got the thing back together, almost. I started taking apart the handset because it's a bit schmutzy. I'm gonna burn this memory card. It's a bit schmutzy. We'll give that a clean and rewire it. And in old phones, they had the like thing sticking out of the mouthpiece. They called it a spit cup. They're never nice inside. Here's the transmitter. That's kind of nasty. Well, it's kind of clean. I didn't bother cleaning the cord because I can't be bothered. This is a weird cord. It's got this tube and white wires, which I've never seen before. Probably part of whatever refurb process it went through, if it did, which it seems to have. The other weird thing is it doesn't have the usual. It has this hook here that automatic electric phones have, but it doesn't use that. Instead, it's got this like rubber grommet thing here that you just ram in there, kind of like that, and that's supposed to hold it together. And it does. It just feels kind of cheap. And I guess that needs to go like that into there. Screw that together. Doesn't really serve a purpose. It's like the last ditch. Stop the thing from exploding. Why is that oozing out of there? That's weird. It will not stay under that screw. Huh. Oh, I should probably ram this up the tube. Stuff that on there. On there. Pay attention. I kind of cleaned that up. Kind of cleaned this up. There goes my screwdriver. And unlike the last phone I did, this has screw terminals on here, which really is more about the vintage of the phone. How does it get tangled up every time I look at this thing? There we go. Back together. So this light, I thought there was something wrong with it blinking. But that's deliberate. So whenever this thing's on, that light blinks. This thing here, which you can't really see, that. I originally assumed was a capacitor or something, because capacitors are always in those big cans. It's not a capacitor. It turns out that's the module that handles that blinking neon lamp in that switch. That's all that module is there for. So according to the schematic, in the speaker unit is housed the amplifier for the speaker and the ringer beeper thing. That pot on the bottom is for adjusting the volume of the ringer, which I'll mess with in a minute, maybe. And then inside this there's the module for the speakerphone, the module for the blinker. There's the network for the regular phone. How to demonstrate this the best. If I turn this up, the speakerphone circuit, you can hear it working. So if I hopefully there's no AGC in the camera messing with this. Oh. So you can hear that drop and it comes back. Bit of a recovery period. So I don't know. It's quite well executed, I thought, for 5 germanium transistors in there and a couple more in the speaker. Yes, they're all germanium. Oh. And so the instructions talk about where to put the speaker here relative to the phone so that it doesn't hear itself, because it's surprisingly not prone to feedback because of that ducking. I gotta really get it, like, even now you can hear it, which is impressive, I thought. That's just a hybrid with some dynamic gain control, I guess. It does have the same kind of feeling as an AGC would. So I'm going to try fiddle around with the adjustment on the bottom of this thing. That's quieter. And that. Let's go with that loudest. I'll back it off a tiny bit. There it is, on its spot on the shelf. I had to move the printer to make room for phones. I was going to show how to pop the dial off, but I didn't. Huh. Look at that little guy just hanging out.